Hey y'all, it's me, Nomadic Shaman here. Thank you so much for visiting my page. Today's video is going to be a continuation of the previous videos I've done where I'm speaking on my experiences, what I've observed, what I've witnessed, new downloads, new confirmations, new channelings, and then even expounding on some of the channelings and downloads I've done before. Like, like I said, it seems like I just heard roll out. Y'all remember that, Ludacris? So it appears that I've just been getting new downloads and then confirmations of older previous downloads that I'm here to share. Remember, I am here to educate, empower, and inform about gangstalking, the levels, the different levels, the spectrum, right? And again, it is to assist and be of service to others so that they're in a better position to navigate it, okay, both from a physical standpoint and a spiritual and, energetic standpoint, as it is part of an awakening, right? Right, I'm here to tell you it is. So, right now we are, Monday, May 18th. So I'm just going to jump into it. I am going to say that this video is for edutainment purposes, so please use your own discernment when watching, because you may become triggered as fuck. And that's because you've partaken in the foolery, fuckery, and fakery. One thing that I will always be is transparent. A lot of things, my guides are telling me, or certain guides that I channel, they don't want me to sugarcoat it. Okay, they just want me to say it exactly how they say it, especially when it comes to me channeling spirits who have transitioned at the hands or direction or guidance under some of these folks involved that I'm gonna talk to. I'm hearing belt to ass, Cardi B. So anyhow, and then one of my guys told me earlier today, they said stand on business. Stand on business, okay? No sugarcoating when there's a certain message that needs to be delivered within a certain way. That is what I will do, okay? So anyhow, let's keep it going, right? I'm not really sure where I left off from, so we're going to start here. For those who do not know, I also do automatic writing. So when I look down at my notes, I am reading notes that I've channeled, downloads that I've written down as well, okay? To start, I've had previous videos where I've discussed POA, faulty POA. Someone had to convince some judge that I was crazy in order to get their hands on the trust, on the will, on the house, on the money. And you know what? I feel like I tend to be a forgiving person, right? It's one thing if someone has, depending on who the person is and what has been done, but for the most part, I can be very forgiving due to other people's transgressions because I acknowledge that people be peopling. We fuck up sometimes, and it's important to provide grace. However, it's something altogether different when one has impacted your life as they have impacted mine in many different areas and facets. And not only so much as that, but continue to do it. So it's like one thing if you've exploited and then you've had material gains, the benefit of that. You also have the opportunity to run or get away scot-free, but yet you got greedy and still continue to do it. And on top of that, still continue to stalk me like I'm your nigga. Okay? Like, that is the fuckery, fakery, and foolery part, okay? And also, that's also going to be the part that is going to cause your downfall, okay? And when I say that, more specifically, I'm directing it to the crazy Egyptian bitch, because she tends to be the central nucleus of everything together. She goes down, well, you already know. So anyways, and that's spiritually, physically, spiritually, okay? So anyways, these people want to go ahead and sweep shit under the rug like shit ain't happened and move on with their lives. You don't do that. I'm predominantly Libra. You don't do that, okay? The scales need to be balanced. That's probably the reason why I feel so passionate about justice. And probably why Archangel Michael is one of my spiritual guides. But that's neither here nor there. Let's go ahead and continue. So, the one thing that I wanted to discuss was, in order for there to be a faulty POA created, they need a medical professional. A medical professional that can draw up documents and support their claims within the court. They did that. They found a psychiatrist. The psychiatrist happened to be an Eastern Star. My spiritual team had informed me she's Puerto Rican. And she's also, this is the resource or connection with the other Puerto Rican. I don't know why my spiritual team just said Puerto Rican princess. They got jokes today. But the individual who taught the crazy psychotic bitch a lot of her esoteric knowledge, the woman that I will say is like the regional manager that was running shit on the East Coast, that was her connection. The psychiatrist was her connection. Spirit was informing me the psychiatrist has a practice in Center City, Philadelphia. For those that do not know, home is Philly for me, always, through and through, okay? I wasn't born there, but that's home to me, y'all. That's home. Anyways, so Puerto Rican princess, Puerto Rican is the psychiatrist. Now, they said, I heard Rivera. Okay, so that could be significant. Now, moving on, I mentioned in a previous video that my handler, the Egyptian handler, she went ahead and has a rental storage unit where she stored a car. There's something significant about that. Okay, now, in West Philly, mind you, extra space storage. She had it done under a credit card that was not hers and under an alias name, okay? The reason why this is significant is because it's either some contents that are in the car, that are left in the car. It could be connected to her insurance, how she paid it, where she bought it, registration, same thing, where it was purchased, the location, or even purchasing the car. It could be one or it could be all of those components that are significant, that is going to tie or connect to empirical evidence, connected to fraudulent activity, and then it will just snowball there, okay? The next thing that I wanted to share, and it's unfortunate, let's see, the brother. Now, Eddie did tell me that he had a brother. Now, he said there were 5 of them. He said he was closest to the one that next above him, which would be the youngest living now. When he transitioned is when he informed me that 1, he was a cop, 2, he was a Freemason, and 3, his name was Reggie. Now, this particular brother is very familiar with the psychotic episodes of the Egyptian handler. Why? It's because Spirit had informed me that just as much as she was stalking me, she was stalking him. And just as much as she was stalking him, She was stalking his baby mama or wife, okay? Basically, the romantic partner of his. Spirit had informed me, and I tapped into this too, because I said, is there anybody that she stalks more than me? Spirit said no. I said, well, damn, is there anybody she stalks just as much as me? Spirit says sometimes it just, you slip into the number 2 spot and then you go back to 1. I said, well, who am I competing with? And they told me it's the brother's wife, mother of his kids. I said, well, I'll be damned. Now, this was when I had posed the question earlier on, but as of today, I do not believe that that's still the case. I'm not sure if if you threaten her, because you are a cop, so I'm not sure if you threaten her or if you put a restraining order on her, but I'm like, send me that treatment because I need that. Because this bitch is crazy. So anyways, she was stalking his wife just as much as me, sometimes more. Whew. Okay. Now, when I say this woman gets down and dirty, I'm talking about she gets down and dirty. Her ex-husband told me she done fuck. Y'all, if you easily triggered, get the fuck off. Eddie told me she done fucked his cousin. She done fucked a best friend of his, a man. She done fucked a girlfriend, which is his best girlfriend of his. She done fucked, did I say cousin already? Yes. And then the other spot is she fucked a brother. Okay. One of these individuals got her pregnant. Now, was it intentional? No. What I'm being told is condoms were always used. But this crazy bitch went ahead in the back of a sex session, took the condom, took the semen from the condom, did spell work, abacadabra bullshit. Spell work. Ooh, Spirit said, did the same type of spell work she did to get pregnant by Eddie. Okay. So she did some abracadabra bullshit, extracted the semen from the condom to get herself pregnant, and voila, she got pregnant. This was her second child. Now, and people are probably like, well, why are you going in? It's because the more someone continues to bogart or attempt to bogart my boundaries with all of this bullshit, I've warned people time and time again. The minute you come across me and you have done something wrong against me, my livelihood, people that I'm connected to, I now have a cord attached to you. So any information I want to know, I can get, providing I get the green light from my spiritual team. My spiritual team said expose, and that is what I'm doing. I mean no harm by it. Honestly, I don't. I'm passionate because I tend to be passionate about everything that I do. But anyways, here we go. So, stole semen, but get this though. Spirit had informed me that this child did not live a very long life. This child lived, I believe, up to 4 months because she sacrificed this child. They showed me a visual. They showed me the child was bundled up. This is around 4 months. Child was bundled up. Something was covering, like right here. Okay, right here. Suffocating, then took it to the river. Okay? No strangulation, but drowning. So suffocate and then drown. And this is how this poor baby, 4 months old, had transitioned. Now, when I did the mediumship reading, I wasn't able to put 2 and 2 together. But when I did the mediumship reading, Eddie was showing me that he was holding a baby and he was rocking the baby back and forth. I didn't know who the fuck that baby was. Excuse my French. I didn't know who the baby was. That was the baby. So her second child that lived to be 4 months old was sacrificed by her. First, strangulation. I'm seeing something covering. I'm having a hard time breathing. So that tells me that some type of suffocation with like a cloth, okay, over this nose mouth area. Then it was taken to the river. Then a sacrifice ensued, a ritual ensued, and then that's what happened. Okay, now let me see. What is the next thing that I want to see? Or I'm hearing sacrifice the baby, buried it as a part of a ritual. Spirit, I asked Spirit if anybody knew of this. She was tight-lipped, locked, throw away the key. There was only one other individual that was with her that assisted her in this. I'm getting it was a woman. I'm getting it was a woman who is highly knowledgeable in esoteric knowledge. Could have been the Puerto Rican princess. Okay? So anyways, I'm going to come up with nicknames with this. This is fun. This part is fun anyhow. So Spirit informed me how this woman, the handler, Egyptian handler, does voodoo, uses blood, bones, okay? She uses it to conjure and to create cords with her targets, in the spirit, energetically, on the astral realm, okay? Also uses the sacrifices as a way to trap souls of the people she has unalived, okay? To keeping them earthbound, which is basically enslaving them, okay? Using them as slaves, which to me, and for those who do not know, I do assist those who've passed on, who are earthbound, with transitioning, to the other side, to the light. So this also is further confirmation why Eddie came to me. Because he wanted me to assist him because he was bound. Okay? He was bound. I just explained to you how people become bound. So there was a ritual, a sacrifice that was done with his body, spell work, some type of bones and bloods that was bone, blood, semen, body parts, okay, hair, DNA that was used in the spell work to keep him tied or connected. It could have been an object. It could have been dolls. It could have been mirrors, what have you. But anyways, when I say all that to say that to trap the soul. Ooh, I just heard bottles. Which bottles? So it could have been that too. To trap the soul. And when you trap the soul, you keep them enslaved. Now, they will remain enslaved if they have karma. Or they come to someone such as myself who works with, I don't want to say the dead. They get offended when I say that. But those who are earthbound spirits to transition on the other side. A lot of mediums have the ability to do that, y'all. Okay, but not, But anyways, and so I say all that to say that that is partially the reason why he came to me, because he wanted assistance with transitioning over to the other side, because he was earthbound due to the spiritual workings and root work that was done after he transitioned, okay, with his remains. So let me see. Let's see. The ex-wife also does, snake demon magic to keep people bound and isolated. My spiritual team informed me she did this on me. In fact, I actually saw a vision of it. Okay, so she's into that type of stuff. He also informed me that he was blackmailed into marrying her. He didn't want to. And if he didn't, then his blackmail would be due to imprisonment. He would be going to jail for whatever he did. Okay. I'm not going to share that. I wrote down Mirage. Those two names could be significant. Let's see. I'm hearing that baby that was 4 months old, it happened in August of 2024. Okay. And it was also meant for an offering. Okay. She works with certain entities, energies, and demons to provide him offerings. And that baby had transitioned. Well, fuck it, not transition. She killed the baby, okay? And she did it for sacrifice, and it was a way of off. Ooh, why did I just heard Moloch? For an offering. For an offering, okay? To an entity or what have you. And I mentioned before, the baby, well, obviously, is not the girl, but the baby could be the cousin's baby. It could be the brother's baby. And it could be the best friend's baby. Okay? One of those three. I'm going to let you choose multiple choice. Do I know? Yes, I know. But I'm just going to keep it at that. Okay? So then the next thing is... within those 4 months, she went to her brother-in-law, Eddie's brother, the cop, and she lied. I'm seeing Candy Burris. The lies. She is one lying ass motherfucker. She lied so much about me. Eddie even informed me that when he was living, she had told him that I had molested his son to pit people, against each other. And because I'm innocent, any negativity that comes at me, people are going to feel the backfire one way or another. Okay? Anyways, what I'm going to say here, just to wrap this up, is Eddie informed me that perjury was done. Okay? Perjury was done in court by the brother. Now, there were, a witness statement or testimonies regarding my character. Okay? In court. I was also informed resources and connections were used. Your resources, your connections, to look into what happened to your brother. And on one hand, I understand it, because here is your so-called sister-in-law telling you that this bitch, meaning me, was the person responsible for your brother's death. I can understand and see from that viewpoint who wouldn't use their resources and connections to look into what happened. Okay. But what you didn't know at the time was I was completely innocent. And it was her using your know-how, your power, your connections, with you being a Freemason, your resources, to come against somebody innocent, such as myself. So she had you do the dirty work. Now, eventually you did get hip to the game, because Spirit has also informed me, I don't know what you did. I don't know what the fuck you did to have her keep away from you and your family, but it worked. Shit, you should have did that for me. On some real shit. So, here we are, 25 minutes. I think I've said enough. I'm going to wrap up this video, and I will see you on the other side. Peace out.